thanks for coming back. I'm going to do I'm making them shorter because the YouTube's having a little problem with me. They seem to know all the right things to say and everything else is misinformation. I'll just put it like that if I can. This is, of course, your report from Canada, and we right now have had a deal made between two men in our government, and they will be. I always have to refer to this where law ends, tyranny begins. We have tyranny in Canada, thanks to we've had so many prime ministers from the province of Quebec. It's outrageous here what's happened. But anyway, I just want to let you know. This man is the current Prime Minister of Canada. His name is Justin Trudeau, and this man is now sharing the office. He is Jagmeet Singh. He's very woke. He's very green. And we have new legislation coming out of, I believe it's the provinces of Ontario, where it's critical race theory for Canada. Everybody is named in it. Every group of people, what do you want to call them, races? Religions too, except Caucasians, are named. They're all protected. Everybody's protected except the Caucasians. They are not. We are target practice. Everything, of course, is the fault of Caucasians, as we now know. This YouTube may take it down almost immediately, but I want to talk to you about Hollywood celebrities who hate Donald Trump, which there's quite a few of them. There are also some Hollywood celebrities that like Donald Trump. And one man who's heavily promoted, there's quite a few of them, Joseph Biden in the last election. People like Jon Stewart, who's now done a 180. He wants Biden out. And who else is in there? Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, Arnold, just recently, as you know, said that he wants to fight Vladimir Putin mano a mano because he has to protect Joe Biden. Joe Biden's not doing very well, somehow, as a president. And Arnold Schwarzenegger has often said that he wanted to trade places with Donald Trump. Donald Trump could run Hollywood, and he would run Hollywood, the White House. But let's take a look at Mr. Schwarzenegger's past. He is a German. His father was a Nazi soldier for Hitler. He came to America, got famous, married a Kennedy woman, one of the Kennedys, can you imagine? You know, okay, so he's very famous for saying, you know, we pump the iron, we go to the hotel, we make the baby, I go back to the gym, I pump the iron, you know, things like that. And that's who wants to be president of the United States. Robert De Niro probably would like that, I'm not sure. So now he wants to fight Vladimir Putin, and he's going to bring peace to the world because obviously he's going to knock the piss right out of Mr. Putin. Obviously. But remember, not very long ago, there was a guy in France, Macron they call him, or Macaroni. He had a meeting with Putin before Putin invaded Ukraine. And he comes out of the meeting, I have solved it for the world, you know, I am the savior of the world. And Putin went right into Ukraine anyway. Now we don't hear from Macron at all. He's not talking anymore. He went head to head with Mr. Putin, and he beat Mr. Putin. He warning him, France will no longer be sending you any wine. So, knock it off. Anyway, here we go. So there was, in Canada, of course, we have now we had a dictatorship before, because Parliament got suspended, and as far as I know, the only thing left of Parliament right now is question period. Just questions and answers, questions and answers. There's no legislation going on because this man is running the whole show. And now he's got this man to help him, and he's very woke and he's very green. And this man will destroy Alberta's energy, the oil and gas industry. He will do it. This man hates it too, but the problem this man has is that the family wealth, the Trudeau family, their wealth comes from oil and gas, comes from Alberta. Somehow he seems to think nobody in Canada knows that. Well, we certainly do. His father, the old man, Joseph Trudeau, goes by the name of Pierre, but his real name is Joseph. He also shut down the Alberta Oil, called it the National Energy Program. He actually stole their money. took their power away, as you know the French do that. It is a certain thing about their culture and the way that they are. You know, when Macron went to Putin, you're going to stop it now? Oui, mais oui. I will get really, really angry. Really, really angry. So anyway, that's how it goes here in Canada. We now have a majority government for the next 3 years. And in fact, even though we had an emergency issue here, and this man says he's rescinded the order, bank accounts are still frozen here. There is no parliament. He tells us what we're going to do next, what's going to happen to us, and we have to follow him. As I've been calling him, our dear leader. And with this new arrangement with Mr. Singh, that means basically the dictatorship will carry on. This man speaks like a dictator, and this man speaks like a dictator. So that's what we're looking at. That's where we're going. We cannot find justice in Canada. All the courtrooms are shut down. I've been there many times. There's thousands and thousands of cases. I'll show it to you again. As of August 16th, 2016, there were 45,000 cases, and I had 4 of them. I wanted justice. I'm self-represented. The judges look at me. You can't believe it. What happens to you in the courtroom? I was just stunned by it. And I had a lawyer friend helping me, and he came with me twice. We get outside the courtroom, and he says, "This is impossible. The judge can't do this." Judges in Canada have authority over the people. They have no authority over the government. They can only make a suggestion to the government. That's it. That's where we are. I think that's where the rest of the world is going now, too, because Canada's judges are all appointed by this man. And they're all liberals, of course. And they all do what he tells them to do. In fact, they have to. There was 4 famous judges, senior people, men and women. You got to say that because this man loves women. Actually, I don't think he does at all, but that's just my own opinion. He likes them if he can control them. You know, sort of like Harvey Weinstein. There's a Hollywood name for you. All the women in Hollywood, they love Harvey Weinstein. They just love that man. They hate Donald Trump, but they love Harvey. Where's Harvey right now? I think he's doing a little jail time. You know, demanding sex, like they do here in Canada for some government agencies like the Department of Fisheries and Oceans. If you perform a sex act, you have a job as a biologist. Nothing to it. That's the way we do it here in Canada. There is no process. There is nothing. We live this way, unfortunately. I can tell you where you get a deal. If this group tells you you have a deal, you really do have a deal. More so than the government of Canada. And where the law ends, tyranny begins. It is quite depressing. Anyway, I have to speak out about it. I'm sure I'm going to do it again as news progresses. And Arnold wants to fight Putin. You know, I think Arnold should go to the Ukraine and help the Ukrainians. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the way, is a German. His last name is a German name. I mean, he says he's from Austria, but his father fought in the Nazi army. The Austrian army just moved in to get soaked up by Germany, and they all went to war. They certainly did. The Austrians did too. And so did the Italians, sort of. And the Japanese, of course. But they really did go to war. Anyway, since we have this situation where Arnold Schwarzenegger hates Donald Trump so much, guess what this Trump last name is? It's German. Similar to Schwarzenegger. So it's German fighting a German. And Ukraine, a lot of people in Ukraine are Russian. Putin, of course, represents the Russians. The Russians are killing the Russians. Arnold Schwarzenegger wants to kill another German, Donald Trump. Thank you all for listening. I hope I've given you something to think about. But here in Canada, I don't know. Cher makes a big fuss about lots of things, but I don't know what's happened to Cher. I have no idea. I know she's the icon for the gay men, and they love her. So if that's who you've attracted to you, then that's who you've attracted. I know some gay people, and they are here, and I am here. We have a social structure. I'm sure you know what I just said. Thank you all for listening. I'll try to get it on YouTube, but they don't like what I'm saying about the Germans, the Russians, and only YouTube knows what the real information is. Thanks for listening. My friends are going to close up the show. Thanks again. Bye.
Wow. Pedro gives you his special gypsy glasses, and this is what you choose to look at? Pedro's not very sorry for you. Oops.